Welcome everyone to the second round of the championship. Today we're here at Shanghai, China for the Chinese Grand Prix. The first race of the season, as you can see, was, I guess you could say, business back to normal, Alpine 1-2. Lando Norris stealing a podium from Pierre Gasly on the final corner. Alfa Romeo, they still have, some pace to show. And Ferrari having a better start to the season than last year already. As you can see, 7th in the constructors, as they were 9th last year. Anyways, into the race weekend we go. Looks like it's wet and rainy. My favourite for pole this time, I have to go with George Russell. He's on really good form. Pre-season didn't go his way. He didn't go Alpine's way in general. But last race dominated. I think he even made an extra stop. And still managed to win. So right now George Russell is the dominant force of Formula 1. I think we can see Leclerc with a few wins this year. But George Russell is definitely the big daddy, He's definitely going to be the one to beat, not only this year, but for the next few years. And we even saw when Alpine, they didn't quite have the car in Season 1 to challenge for, race wins consistently. And therefore the title. But George Russell is still winning races, Anyways, this is how qualifying finish. George Russell with another pole position. Charles Leclerc P2. Carlos Sainz P3, much better than last week. Pierre Gasly P4, Lando Norris P5, Alex Lynn P6, Alex Albon P7, Esteban Ocon P8, Max Verstappen P9, Sergio Perez P10. What I love is that anyone from P3 down to P10 could potentially be on the podium. Lewis Hamilton P11, Mick Schumacher P12, Kevin Magnussen P13, Callum Ilott P14, Lance Stroll P15, Daniel Ricciardo P16, Nico Hulkenberg P17, Yuki Tsunoda P18, wow, he struggled, Nikita Mazepin P19, and Valtteri Bottas P20. Sorry there, we had some sound issues. But anyways, what I was going to say is that Charles Leclerc has had a really good start. Carlos Sainz and Alex Lynn have managed to also jump George Russell, but what on earth has happened to George Russell? Okay, starting on the harder tires. But look at him just get mugged by everyone down the straight. Okay, he's starting on the slow compound tire. But, wow, he's lost a lot of positions. Max Verstappen's getting him. Alex Albon's getting him. Sergio Perez, surely he must have a problem with the car or something. Ooh. Alex Albon, they're nearly getting Alex Lynn, the other Alex. Anyways, now he's making a move on Pierre Gasly. No. Doesn't make a stick. This is really close, As I said, from P3 to P10, it's going to be so close. Anyone could take those positions. Now George Russell's beginning to, just enter. This is the part of the race where George Russell on the hard tires, this is when his race begins to light up. It switches on all of a sudden. Anyways, you can see all of the drivers, at the top are pitting. However, Charles Leclerc decides to stay out. That's an interesting move. Very interesting move. Carlos Sainz is gaining on George Russell already. He's gonna breeze past him, round the outside, easy as you like. Yeah. Carlos Sainz, do not count him out. He can still win this race. Race 1 was very tricky for Sainz and Alfa Romeo. But right now, Sainz is looking like a very strong candidate. Also, Lando Norris has managed to jump Charles Leclerc. Favorite for the race win, looking at, lap 5 out of 15. I think I'll still say Charles Leclerc, just because last year there were races, I'm saying, Monaco, that was a good shout. We thought Lando Norris had everything under control. But the last 2 laps, it just fell for him. Also, for the Dutch Grand Prix at Assen, we thought Sergio Perez had that in the bag. But no, he got overtaken. And now Charles Leclerc is trying to get Lando Norris around the outside. Lando Norris, he makes it a little bit difficult. But Leclerc eventually gets the move done. He's going to use some of his reserves. Lando Norris is not going to give up. And he's managed to get back past Charles Leclerc. In the pits though, Carlos Sainz. He's pitting for the hards. Now, if you're Sainz, do you try to, make your tyres go as long as possible, or is another pit stop inevitable? Charles Leclerc, I think he will be pitting now, as will Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon. Yeah. Carlos Sainz will easily get past Alexander Albon, and Pierre Gasly shouldn't be too hard as well. There. This lap is so important for Carlos Sainz though, just for him to close the gap on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc though, he stays out for another lap. Leclerc stays out for another lap. So what Leclerc is trying to do is trying to destroy his tyres so that when he pits, effectively he'll make one less pit stop. I think anyone who thought Carlos Sainz may be favourite to win this race, I think, the baton's just being passed to Charles Leclerc being favourite. Because he has to make one last pit stop. It's going to be really close. Carlos Sainz is going to overtake him now, and he's going to, retake the lead of the race. But if Charles Leclerc, if he pits now, I think he could potentially make his tyres go all the way to the end of the race. He will definitely get a podium. It's whether he can win this race. Will Carlos Sainz break the streak of, Etihad Alpine's streak of winning races, 15 race wins in a row. We thought winning 3 race wins, was crazy from Lewis Hamilton for AlphaTauri. But 15, wow, that is a crazy amount. Carlos Sainz though, I think, it's just so close. The gap between the 2 drivers, between Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, 5.1 seconds, 3.1. Leclerc's he's on the move. Oh no, that was the gap. Leclerc to Norris. Leclerc's now past Norris. The gap between Sainz and Leclerc is 6.1 seconds. This is such a tight Grand Prix. If you're Carlos Sainz, you want to do one more lap maximum than pit. But Leclerc is actually really struggling against Lando Norris. We're saying, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc are the favourites, but do not count out Lando Norris. He could be the dark horse. The gap between Sainz and Norris as well is closing. Carlos Sainz is also stuck in traffic. Maybe he should have pitted a lap earlier. I don't know, we'll see. But this final sector is going to be so crucial. Carlos Sainz is going to lap Lance Stroll and he's going to pit. Stroll makes it very difficult for him, but Lando Norris will inherit P1. Charles Leclerc P2. Will Lando Norris get his first win for McLaren? We weren't talking about Lando Norris, not even before the race. But all of a sudden, Lando Norris, he could be the guy to win this race. And we're talking about Lando Norris, potentially winning the race. The man who won last time out, George Russell, he's running P8. He's had a mare of a Grand Prix. Anyways, Alex Lynn battling with Alex Albon and Sergio Perez is going to make the move stick. Albon pits and he gets to move down on Sergio Perez. Carlos Sainz now has managed to get past Charles Leclerc. It's going to be really close. I think we may have a, first time in 15 races. We may have a new winner. Will it be Lando Norris or will it be Carlos Sainz? Right now it looks like it will be Carlos Sainz. He is gaining on Lando Norris rapidly. Look at Carlos Sainz's speed though. His tyres are there. Carlos Sainz makes the move for the lead and takes P1. Carlos Sainz has P1. Lando Norris P2. But there's still one more lap to go. This is going to be the first time in ages that we're going to see, a race winner that isn't an Alpine. Charles Leclerc, I think he may have to pit this lap. His tyres are finished. The strategy nearly worked of making one last pit stop, but it didn't pay off. George Russell though, a driver who I was shouting at, I was destroying a couple of minutes ago. Now he's managed to find himself back in the battle for P3, P4, P5, P6. Yeah, Gasly's also there as well. But it looks like Carlos Sainz for Alfa Romeo is going to win his first Grand Prix, and Alfa Romeo's first Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz wins for Alfa Romeo. What a Grand Prix! Lando Norris takes home P2. What a drive from him. Charles Leclerc P3 is his best, just about beating Pierre Gasly. One more lap he wouldn't have made it. P5 being Max Verstappen. P6 Alex Albon. P7 George Russell. He fell back once again. The strategy was never there. P8 Sergio Perez. P9 Alex Lynn. And P10 finishing off the top 10 Esteban Ocon. What a Grand Prix we've witnessed today. Wow. What a race. Carlos Sainz has just won. Lando Norris P2. Pierre Gasly P3. Max Verstappen P4. Alex Albon P5. George Russell P6. Sergio Perez P7. Alex Lynn P8. Esteban Ocon. Alex Lynn, P9. Esteban Ocon P10. Lewis Hamilton P11. Mick Schumacher P12. Nico Hülkenberg P13. Ferrari is still on the up. Callum Ilott P14, Kevin Magnussen P15, Daniel Ricciardo P16, Yuki Tsunoda P17, Valtteri Bottas P18, with P19 and P20 being Lance Stroll and Nikita Mazepin. This is how the championship looks now. Look at that. The top 5 are separated by 7 points. I know it's early days. And I know this is the longest season that we've had ever in Unlimited Racing 2D history. But Lando Norris is the leader of the championship. Charles Leclerc, I guess you could say joint leader as well with Lando Norris. George Russell, P3. Carlos Sainz, P4. When was the last time we had anyone other than Alpine at the top of the standings? Carlos Sainz now, I guess you could say he's a championship competitor. But for how long? Pierre Gasly there, don't count out Max Verstappen at this rate. And Sergio Perez. Alex Albon P8, Alex Lynn P9, Esteban Ocon P10, Lewis Hamilton P11, Nico Hülkenberg P12, Mick Schumacher P13, Kevin Magnussen P14, Callum Ilott P15, Daniel Ricciardo P16, Yuki Tsunoda P17, Lance Stroll P18, Valtteri Bottas P19, and Nikita Mazepin with 1 point P20. This is how the constructors' standings look like. Unsurprisingly, Alpine have the lead there, they have the upper hand. McLaren P2 with Alfa Romeo P3. That's gonna be really close, and Mercedes, they're even there as well. Force India P5. Williams though, they've had not the best start to the season, with their closest competitor in Alfa Romeo getting a race win. Ferrari P7, Haas P8, Red Bull P9, and AlphaTauri P10. What a Chinese Grand Prix that was! I can't wait for the Malaysia Grand Prix. Join us then when we go to Sepang, Kuala Lumpur for the Malaysia Grand Prix. Thank you for being with us, and I can't wait to see you then. Goodbye.